Welcome back to the Crypto Trends Podcast, where we cover all things cryptocurrency, blockchain, Web 3.0, and AI. I'm Robert Croak, and I'm joined by my co-host, Armando Pantoja. Both of us and our amazing team are excited to bring you the best information, guidance, and strategies each and every Wednesday. So follow along and always remember to take notes and take action. Okay, so let's get into talking point number one. This episode is going to be action-packed because there is so much going on. There's good news, bad news, misdirection, manipulation. It is crazy, and it is all over the place. We see XRP surging, we see Dogecoin faltering, and meme coins are on the rise. So let's get into it. XRP takes the lead because of rumors of a Robinhood relisting and a 4% surge, highlighting how speculation can influence the market so much. Also, Shiba Inu and Dogecoin are in focus right now as Shiba Inu sees a 7% increase, which I believe is because of the Shiba DAO news, showcasing growing utility and good news for the Shiba community. Meanwhile, Dogecoin's momentum appears to be slowing despite a boost from Elon Musk's tweet. I know that was a mouthful, so Armando, break it down. Let's get into it for our listeners.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things happening. We're going to discuss some of those points later on in this episode, but I want to focus on MicroStrategy because a lot of people are talking about this. A lot of people are writing me and you asking us, what's happening? Why is Bitcoin not moving? Why are these coins not moving? These things are happening. Like MicroStrategy announced that they bought $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and MicroStrategy actually went up 8% the next day.
Right.
So I got a lot of DMs like, how did MicroStrategy go up? But Bitcoin stayed relatively the same as it was the day before.
Yep.
Then we hear about XRP being listed on Robinhood in the European Union. Nothing happens much with the price. Then we hear about what's happening with Ethereum, Shiba, and all this stuff. The key theme here is that there's a lot of things happening, but no price movement. Now, this is what I love about markets, is that the price has to reflect what's going on, but it doesn't have to reflect it now.
Right.
It will eventually reflect all of these things, but through manipulation, through maybe some types of fraud, what could be happening is that the powers that be are repressing the price so that they can get in at these cheap prices. Eventually, one day, the market has to reflect the demand that's happening right now.
It reminds me of an old saying that a broken clock is right twice a day. And I hate to say that on this episode, but that's what I feel like. I feel like it's Groundhog Day, where we come on here, we talk about all the great news in cryptocurrency, yet the price action is not reflecting that. And so when you think about MicroStrategy, it's effectively a proxy for Bitcoin because their stock is up 124% this year. Their average purchase price for Bitcoin over the past 4 years is only $38,585, which gives them a great dollar cost average on Bitcoin overall, as Bitcoin is hovering around $60,000 right now, which is great news for their investors, yet we're not seeing the bull run that everyone assumes. And in my opinion, I think, and I hate to say it, but I feel like we're still early. I feel like this is the great window of opportunity for everyone because prices are not going up, and in many cases they're going down, giving us more and more opportunity to buy these assets at a lower price.
Now, a MicroStrategy bought 244,000 Bitcoin over the last, over the last few weeks or maybe even a few months. They didn't say the time frame. That's a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin. You got to remember is that if they did it all at once, it would reflect in the market. But if they do it strategically, some OTC off the over the counter, they do some maybe buying directly from the miners, they do some strategically over time, they can enter the market without it being reflected in the price.
Yep.
So that's what we're seeing here is that eventually, with them buying that many Bitcoin, they've taken them off the market. There's only 21 million Bitcoin.
Right.
So that's a big part of the percentage. So that's the float, they call it, the Bitcoin that are out there. If we discount lost Bitcoin that are locked up, Bitcoin that people are holding, that's a lot of Bitcoin. So the price will eventually reflect that. We'll see Bitcoin's price go up in 2025. Like we said in the end of 23, people don't remember that. And we're going to see all these things start to come to fruition.
Let's talk about the next point. We have have been all about manipulation. We are in probably the biggest manipulation period with respect to news and cryptocurrency that we will see in the next 4, 5, 6 years, because we're leading up to an election. We just got through all of the crazy stuff that happened with the XRP court case and the settlement. And now news broke, fake news broke yesterday, I believe it was, or a couple days ago, that Coinbase was issuing Bitcoin IOUs to BlackRock. And so these rumors spread everywhere in the last few days that they would allow BlackRock to manipulate the Bitcoin price by actually getting these IOUs from Coinbase. And I just think it's crazy because, in my opinion, Coinbase and BlackRock are so big and so important to the markets, especially the crypto markets right now. I think it would be crazy to think this could have any truth to it at all. So let's break it down. In my opinion, I think it's all bullcrap. I think it's all manipulation and more clickbait because everyone is trying to get their views. Everyone is trying to push their initiatives. And I think it's crazy. So let's break it down of your thoughts of what you've read and where you think this goes.
Yeah, I've heard the rumors that Coinbase is issuing those IOUs. I don't believe it. And because Coinbase is such a big company, they're publicly traded, they have to go under audit. So something this big would bring the company down. Now, is the payoff worth it? Not really. They make all their money on transactions. Somebody buys Bitcoin, they take a cut. So they make money when the market goes up. They make less money when the market goes down. I don't think it would benefit them to do this, but I don't think the benefit or the risk is worth it. And I just think it's just more people trying to come up with conspiracy theories on why the market isn't moving the way they think it should be moving now.
Yeah. I feel like we're just in a place right now. Sometimes I crack up laughing in the middle of the night when I'm scrolling the internet and really doing my research. I feel like almost everything out there, when you ask for the source, it's trust me, bro. It's just so hilarious. And it's the same thing with this right now. I have seen zero evidence that Coinbase has done any wrongdoing in giving out these IOUs to BlackRock. And so it's so crazy because it's just, I laugh every single time I see these crazy clickbait stories about something to do with XRP right now as the hot button topic, or Shiba Inu is going to go to $10. And there's just no more math or no more sourcing of the facts of any of this. And it really drives me nuts. And most of this, I believe, was brought forth by blockchain researcher Colin Brown, and there's just been nothing else to support the claim. So for me, it's more manipulation, it's more clickbait, and everyone needs to relax and really make sure you flush out the information because, as we've been saying for months and months, everyone needs to be careful out there because there is so much manipulation leading into this election that's coming up soon.
It's almost laughable that think about BlackRock. They have an ETF that's out there. It's under regulation by the federal government. Then you have Coinbase, who's a publicly traded company. They're under regulation. Both parties are constantly audited. They have hundreds of employees that have access to this data. Now, out of all those people, somebody would be a whistleblower because the person who blows the whistle, the SEC actually has laws that if you are a whistleblower on financial fraud, people don't know this. You get 10% of the fraud that they find.
That is why whistleblowers are starting to come out more because they initiated this payout system. So now you're not just going on a limb to be a whistleblower. You're getting paid. You're getting paid. So I like that idea because it's going to flush out more corporate manipulation and fraud because people are going to be like, shit, I can't be part of this, but I can get out of it and get paid as well. So I really like that. And so to put this to rest, Coinbase has categorically denied these allegations. And I just think that it's important for everyone to move on. And I really wanted to talk about this point in the episode just to make sure everyone is calm and understands. I believe Coinbase is a very thorough and very important platform that will be the biggest platform in cryptocurrency for the coming years and decades. And so I don't have any concerns at all with my money on Coinbase. I think it's all bullshit. And until I see proof, I'm not concerned.
This could be a possibly, I think the biggest payout ever for that bounty program or the whistleblower program, I think was $250 million.
Yeah.
Somebody found, I believe so. So if let's say this was $1 billion fraud, which it clearly could be because the entities are so big, If one person went to the SEC, they would make $100 million for just telling whatever was happening.
Yep.
That payoff is too big. I don't think that anything like that would happen of that size because of that payout system. And just the risk. Coinbase is not going to do that. BlackRock's not going to do that. Coinbase's business is a lot bigger than just Bitcoin.
Yep.
And their future is a lot bigger than what's happening now. So BlackRock is not going to risk their entire operation. BlackRock does so much more: stocks, retirement, alternative investments. They invest in gold and precious metals. They're not going to risk everything on a Bitcoin ETF. That's not going to happen, because if that was found out, it would destroy their credibility.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's just more misdirection, more people trying to scare people away from crypto.
Yeah, some friends of mine, very smart friends of mine, are developing an app right now, and I'm not going to give the name out until it's live, but I'm excited about it because what it is going to do is allow you to fact check every item that you see in the matter of a couple clicks, and it is really groundbreaking because it'll help people realize what's fake and what's real, because everything is being manipulated. Our podcasts are being manipulated. Clips are being manipulated of me speaking, where people are clipping things together. So there's going to be a lot of technology in that field that's going to come out and help people know what's real. So let's get on to the next very important point. Some good news into this is the launch of the Grayscale XRP Trust again provides institutional investors easy access to XRP, and this will boost liquidity and also demand, because a lot of people don't want to handle their own crypto, and by having these ETFs and these trusts and ways for them to own the asset while not controlling it and managing themselves is great, great news. And I think this also gives more validity to XRP's future. And also, Robinhood just relisted XRP for European investors. This could also drive retail demand, which I think is awesome. We shall see. And also, Ripple's favorable legal outcome against the SEC has created clear regulatory paths. So I think all of this really leads to more good news for XRP. I still don't think we're going to see the crazy prices that a lot of the clickbaiters and the fake gurus out there are posting, but I think all of this good news just lends to more upside in the markets for XRP. So let's break it down.
Both these things, the XRP Trust and also the relisting on the European Union's Robinhood, that increases demand for XRP and increases awareness. So those two things are going to cause the price to go up over time. Now remember, we're in an environment where nothing's really responding to news. Yep. We just talked about how big things have happened in Bitcoin. MicroStrategy bought $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and the company that bought the Bitcoin went up 8%, but Bitcoin did nothing. Right. So we're in a weird time. And in these weird times, it always happens right before a big boom.
Yep.
Almost every time it's a weird, things don't make sense. There's a cloud of confusion. And that's what's happening now. XRP is going to be a strong coin in 2025. The things are happening right now under the surface, and everything will one day converge and shoot XRP to the moon. That's what I believe. My price target is still at 25 by the end of the year next year. I know I got a video out there that says 10,000. But that was just, and I was just explaining to them today, I said, that was based, I just did that to say it could get to that price. And it would almost have to be the only currency on the planet to get to that price. But 25 is reasonable.
I could also fulfill my dream of playing in the NBA still. So there's that. That's right. If everyone else, yes, exactly. So let's move on a little bit. I look at it this way. You mentioned it earlier. I think it's very important that everyone understand that I feel like the retail audience and the everyday person that's investing into cryptocurrency is so waylaid with misinformation and clickbaity information that no one really knows what to believe. And that's why I enjoy doing this podcast each and every week, because I feel like we break it down in a way to say this is bullcrap and this is what we believe to be real. And so when you think about XRP, even a couple days ago, Uphold did an article, an announcement, where they said they saw a road to where XRP could be $1,000 a piece. I think this is irresponsible. I like Uphold as a platform, but I don't think those types of articles should be published, because I just think it's bullshit. We should all be extremely happy if XRP hits $5, $10, $15, $20, or even $25, because we would all make a tremendous amount of money with with XRP if that did that, but you have to look at this as long-term investing. XRP is changing the game in finance and in cross-border payments, and there's so many great things happening with it, but everyone needs to dial it back a little bit and be more realistic of what they believe the outcome is going to be with XRP. I personally would be ecstatic if we saw a $10, $12, or $15 XRP by the end of 2025. We get lucky and it gets to your point of $25. That is great as well. But everyone just needs to dial it back a little bit because there is just so much manipulation out there.
Those low-hanging fruits of crypto going to, you buy it for $1, goes to $10,000. Those days are over.
Yep.
And the thing about it is that looking back, it seems easy. I could have got Bitcoin at 80 cents.
Yep.
At the time, it wasn't easy because you didn't know where Bitcoin was going. It was a high risk. It was hard to acquire in those days.
Yep.
It seems easy in retrospect. Oh man, I could have gotten Ethereum at $3 and now it's $2,500. I missed a big opportunity. Everything's easy in hindsight. In real time, it was hard. And that's where we're at right now, is that right now we don't know really where anything's going. We don't know which coin is going to be number one, but you just have to use the strategies that we talk about all the time. When in doubt, zoom out, dollar cost average in, find the ones with the utility value and the best purposes, the best mission statements, and invest in those. And along the way, you will make big returns. And what's wrong with making 20, 30 times your money? I don't know how we got to the point where that's not good enough.
Yeah.
People come to us all the time and say, especially the younger crypto bros, they're like, I can't believe you're talking about XRP. It's only going to 25.
Right.
What about this other number 7, whatever, this Pepe number 7 coin?
Right.
It's going to go to 10,000 times.
And it might, but if you're not in on the inside of that information for that pump and dump, you're going to be the one that puts your last $1,000 in, hoping to turn it into $1 million, and then it goes to zero, and then you tell all of your other crypto bros that crypto is a scam. And it really bugs me, the point you made there, because even if you look at Bitcoin, right now, I believe Bitcoin is, let me say that over. Even if you think about Bitcoin, I believe right now Bitcoin is 1/17th the market cap of gold. And many people in crypto believe that the market cap of Bitcoin will catch gold in the next decade. So if you look at that right now, that would put Bitcoin at roughly a 17.5x from where it's at. Don't come at me if my math's a little off, because we don't use a script here and there is nobody feeding me the exact answers, but I think that's pretty close. So if you look at that, I see a road to where one Bitcoin is $750,000, maybe $1 million. And I think that's really doable in the next 8 to 10 years. But a lot of these fake crypto bros will say, oh, why bother that to do a 17x? And it's just so ridiculous, because people are conditioned now to not even want to look at something that has that kind of upward potential, because they think they're going to get the next 100, 200, or 500x because of the fake gurus that are shilling something for everyone to make their quick bucks. So just be careful. I think all of what we talk about between XRP, Ethereum, Chainlink, Bitcoin, everyone should own these kind of blue chip cryptocurrencies, because they have the most upside potential with the least amount of risk in cryptocurrency moving forward. Let's get into our last talking point today. I think this one's kind of fun. I know you're going to have a ball with it, and that is Trump's World Liberty. And that is Trump's World Liberty Financial, the new coin and platform that they are releasing. And I think it's a mistake for Donald Trump right now to be digging in and doing this launch, considering he has a good chance of winning the presidential election. And I think it's ill-timed. I wish them the best, and I know a lot of people that support Trump will be all over this project, but I think it's a little bit bad timing, because he doesn't need any more controversy going into this election. But let's break it down for the viewers of what we think and what I believe they should do in this instance, because he does have a massive fan base. But I think right now he should be focused, and his whole message should be on how he's going to win this presidential election and what the initiatives are. So let's go into it and break it down.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in risk management. I think if you cover the downside, what's crazy is I actually learned that maybe 10 years ago. I read a Trump book, And he actually said this. He said, always cover the downside and the upside will take care of itself. And he's not doing that now.
No, he's not.
Like, I don't get, like, why would you go in? I don't understand why you would go into a crypto project 2 months before the election.
Yep.
Crypto projects are highly unstable right now, speculative. They all are. Every crypto on earth is speculative because none has shown a real use case as of yet. Now they have potential. Every crypto has potential, but not one coin is used in everyday life as of now. So why create a new coin, pump it basically, and remember, 70% of the coins are going to the insiders. That's even more of an issue that the political opponents can attack right before the election. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't believe that Trump truly, I think he likes crypto based on what he knows, but I don't think he truly understands it. I think he's a little bit, I think other people are feeding him information and he hears about it, he knows business, and he tries to, go with it or not go with it. And I've heard he's a man that goes on impulse anyway, and you see his speeches, he does that. And I think you can't do that in this industry. You cannot do that, especially right before the election. And I just think it's another target that political opponents can use to bring him down.
I think back to, and that's a great point, when you get to a certain level, you have to ultimately be able to trust your handlers. And my handlers cost me hundreds of millions of dollars back in 2010 because I was going to open one of the first Bitcoin exchanges, and the people that were working on it were very well educated in the future of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And at that time, I was going to buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin to populate the exchange, and one Bitcoin was 7 cents. And this is a story that has plagued me for many years. I don't generally look in the rearview mirror, but had my handlers done a better job of doing their research, they would have come to the conclusion that the risk was worth the reward and the downside was very little because Bitcoin was only 7-8 cents at that time. And I listened to my handlers and I did not open that exchange, and I didn't buy my first Bitcoin until $7. So from 7 cents to $7 was a huge upside. And so this is where I think Trump is going wrong right now, is by letting his handlers, trusting his handlers, and not fully flushing it out. And I just hope it doesn't appear to be a cash grab right before the election, because that could really change the direction of what is going on.
I don't understand the thinking of his handlers. The risk is just too high, and the payoffs can't be big enough for him. He's a billionaire. He doesn't need the money. It's always good to make more money, of course, but the risk is him having his political opponents having more ammunition to go after him. He could lose the election because this can actually get so bad that it spirals out of control. It maybe cost him the election. That's how bad this can go. But I'm not saying it is going to go bad, but there's the potential out there. Now, if you look at it on the retail side, now the risk is all on Trump. Trump is carrying a lot of risk here. But if you look at it on the retail side, now, I'm not going to invest in it, but I can see how a person that likes to get into speculative investments may look at this and say, man, this may be a good opportunity. Trump's in the news right now. So he's controlling the news cycles. He's going to speak about this a lot, so it's going to draw awareness to the coin. If he wins the election, of course, his supporters are going to jump onto the coin. They're going to buy it. And if he wins the election, there's going to be an immediate boost in that coin, like we saw with the other coins that are related to Trump, the MAGA coin and so on. After a big event happens with Trump, it goes up. So from a speculative standpoint, it could be a good move. I'm not going to do it. I think it's too risky on the retail side as well. But if you just wanted to look at it, it may be something you could say it's a high risk, maybe some reward. It's up to you, but I'm not going to jump in this. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not either. And the way I look at it is there's three types of people out there. There's gamblers, there's speculators, and there's investors. We are here at the Crypto Trends Podcast every week to try and educate and help the investors. Being a speculator is okay. I speculate every single day. I take some high-risk moves at time to time, but I also have my base built. I'm already very wealthy, and I've got my bases built so I don't go broke. But people that are starting out a lot of times like to YOLO their money, and that is not being an investor. future. And so it's very important that everyone gets that message. Build your base first, get your foundation built so you make money while you sleep, and then move on if you feel like YOLOing a small portion of your portfolio and getting involved in some of these crazy coins. Okay, so I want to thank each and every one of you for listening and following along. You can find us on Instagram at Crypto Trends Podcast and on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. We are so excited for the rest of 2024 and beyond and sharing all of our crypto insights with all of you. And if you love the podcast and find value, please share it with a friend, give it a 5-star review, and we'll see you next week.